கார்த்திக் சிங்கா, ரோபோ சங்கர் மற்றும் பல முன்னணி நட்சத்திரங்கள் நடிக்கும் சுபாஷ் கவி இசையில் கொடை உலகமெங்கும் February 10 முதல் உங்கள் அபிமான திரையரங்குகளில்.
Hello, எல்லாருக்கும் வணக்கம். So I think in some institutions you are not allowed to talk in தமிழ்ன்னு இருக்கும். ஆனால் நான் இப்போ இங்கே இருக்கிறதுனால நான் என்ன வேணால் பேசினா தமிழில் பேசலாம் ஜாலியாக. என் ஸ்கூலில் அது ரூலாகவே இருக்கும், தமிழில் பேசினா ஃபைன் அப்படின்ட்டு. ஸோ my first film got made here. So we have to submit these assignments and I did a spoof along with my classmates. Quite a while back, I never mentioned which year I passed out. Then you'll calculate back to see how old I am. So I did a spoof on Tamil cinema. ஸோ என்ன பண்ணோன்னா வந்து தமிழ் சினிமா எடுத்துக்கிட்டோன்னா இந்த ரேப் சீன்ஸ்லாம் வைக்கும்போது கருப்பு பூனை பால் குடிக்கும், அந்த பூ தூவி போடுவாங்க, அப்புறம் அந்த சாரி இது பண்ணுவோம். ஸோ இந்த லைப்ரரியில் தான் என் ஃப்ரெண்டு ஒருத்தர் முகமூடி போட்டு இன்னொரு ஃப்ரெண்டை சேஸ் பண்ணுற மாதிரிலாம் வீட்டுக்கு திஸ் திங். அப்புறம் மாடுக்கு வந்து அந்த ஷெட் பகை அந்த ஹவு அனிமல்ஸை நம்ம வந்து மூவியில் காட்டுவோம். ஸோ அது மாதிரி கோஸ்ட் ஃபிலிம்ஸ் எடுப்போம். So actually surprisingly I don't even know if you remember ma'am when that spoof that I took, Anbil Mahesh was the this thing. He was the guy who cheated Sangeet. Sangeet comes back as a ghost. So we did a lot of shoots here on these roads. So Uday, me, Mahesh, we all actually shot our videos here on these roads. So I had the most fun in this college and I would definitely contribute my passion in filmmaking to this college. So yeah.
Next question was, as women in media, and some of you have been there for 2 decades, how was the industry when you started out for women, and how do you find it now for women, both in terms of opportunities and challenges? Has there been a change? Is it moving in the direction that you thought it would move? So if, again, sorry to start with you, but I think it will be an interesting...
Yeah, so I think I started my journey 10 years back with Vanakkam Chennai. But there are some hurdles. When you're a woman, you are kind of, not taken seriously. Because at that time and now, there are still very few women directors in the field. So I really don't know why that happens, because I see a lot of women who are talented, hardworking. In my team, it's always a 50-50. I have 50% of them who are assistant directors who are women, and they are equally good. But I think it's just that notion that men can only direct, men can only get on the field and work, and men can only work during the night, and sometimes you go 24-hour shoot. So that's one thing, and I think women have also not gone out there and tried. So I would actually suggest today, if you are looking to direct a film, just go out there, like just go get it. You might have to try a little harder, but you have to be resilient. There will be a point where you will feel like giving up, because I have had that point even before Vanakkam Chennai. I started quite late in my career. I started only after I had my first son. It was actually a sudden changeover. I never thought I was going to make a film or even write a script till I was about, okay, I have to tell my age. Till I was about like some 30. And after that suddenly I got into this craze of writing, and then I didn't know what to do with my scripts. I was just writing and I'm like, I can't direct, I don't know how to direct, what am I going to do? So I actually started approaching directors to say, I have an idea, I have a script, can you direct? And no one was actually looking for script writers. At that time it was always a director who also comes up with a script, or they were actually remaking movies, but they were never open to script writers. So suddenly Rajesh, okay, director. So I said, sir, I have this, I don't know what to do, I'm just like, I just want to do something with it. I just want to see my film on silver screen somehow. So he said, you direct. I said, what are you talking about? I don't know where to keep the camera. I don't know what shot to say. It was very easy. Just direct. I don't know, somehow that just got into me. And then what I started doing is, I started doing these show reels. So I took so sometimes, like I say, this can be an exercise that everyone can follow when they're really struggling to be a director, because when you're a first time director, you won't be heard. You won't be given a chance very easily, and you might be extremely talented. So what I did is, I took 2 scenes from Vanakkam Chennai and I shot it with, like, these small time actors and a small crew. and I did it, and it was terrible. So my regent movie said, please don't have any idea of direction, just sit at home. So I said, okay, maybe I have no talent. But then it just like it was just there. Like I couldn't sleep, I couldn't do. 2 days later, I again decided to do the same scenes with a different team. So again, I did the same thing, and then the second thing was like, okay, there is something there. That's how I got it done. So it is a bit roundabout, but when you feel like giving up, don't give up. Because only after that you get these opportunities, especially in filmmaking, especially when you want to be a director. Because there are so many people trying out there, it's not going to be easy. And then when you're already an assistant director working with a director, you get you can do the networking, you can get friendly with the actors, and then you can prove your worth and you can pitch in. And someone like me, I have no experience, I didn't go work with any assistant director, so for me to get a team to just put that blind faith and come, I just have to like nag them, bug them into saying, please, you have to do this for me, this is like my dream. So yeah. So
but have you seen the scene change now with OTT and everything? Do you think the gender relations and diversity and inclusion, everything has sort of moved?
Yeah, see, I wouldn't say completely, but 100% we've come a long way, because now I don't think they see the gender behind it.
That's great, yeah.
Yeah, I've never had that feeling that they're judging me because I'm a woman. So that's where even if there are groups that say women in the media, I actually think we also should not segregate us from, it's only the talent that counts at the end of the day. So that always succeeds. Talent or hard work and luck, everything mixed together has to succeed. You have to try. Yeah. Recently in some radio they asked me the same question, like how do you balance at home, children, upbringing, and then you have to travel and this thing. I said, அவங்களே வாழ்ந்துப்பாங்க. In fact, they'll be happier if I'm not around and nagging them. Otherwise, I'll be like, my daughter suddenly she'll ask, I normally don't nag her, okay? I'll only tell, did you brush your teeth? Please have bath once a day. My thing is more hygienic oriented, but I never ask her to study, nothing. I put her in a school where they don't give homework, because வீட்டுக்கு வந்தா நம்ம தான் பண்ணணும். அதனால எல்லாம் கரெக்டாக பார்த்து செட் பண்ணி போட்டேன். So despite that, she'll be like, கொஞ்சம் extra nag பண்ணா, so when is your next shoot? When are you going? So I think I also came from the backdrop where my mom was working. She was a history professor in a government college till she retired. So she is always out on work, and my dad is also like constantly working. So I came up from this setup where there is no, in my house, my dad till date, I mean like not even when I was growing up, I think that's where when people call and say a women oriented program or women's take வந்து wish பண்ணுங்கன்னா, I'm like, அப்படியா ஏன் எதுக்கு special? Because என் வீட்டில் வந்து that difference was never shown. My dad will be like, okay, when do you want to train? Come, I'll teach you. Why are you sitting at home? The day I got married, he's like, don't think you'll just sit at home and eat from your husband's money, okay? Go for work. The day of my wedding, that's what he said. So I'm always brought up in that thing that you're a woman, so you have to act differently is never there in my thought. So I think, and then in our culture, after marriage, you're supposed to serve food for your husband, you're supposed to cook and everything, From the beginning itself, I kept everyone's expectation of me very low. I said, I don't know anything. So then they started taking pity on me. பாவம் இந்த பிள்ளைக்கு ஒன்றுமே தெரியாது, அதை கஷ்டப்படுத்த வேணான்ட்டு. So I'm like, cooking? No, nothing. Husband's coming over, do you have to serve? Like, why he can serve himself? Why does he need? So eventually, actually, they never expected that from my house. So I think from my parents' house, when I shifted to my in-laws' house, again I had the same treatment that you do whatever you want. Like my mother-in-law always said, like we sat at home and we are doing all these things, like taking care of the house, but you all should go out and do what you want. So she's always been supportive. So I think it takes a woman to also support another woman to say, do what you want. It's always the other way around. Mamiyar, idu mari. Amma, even a mother sometimes instill in you that, you are supposed to be a certain way to your the men in your life. So if we all actually kind of change that attitude, I think we'll all be fine.
Is the volume of content and like people entering the industry right now with like so many different concepts and like strategies ever overwhelming?
No, not at all. No. 10 years back, I was like knocking on producers' doors and I'm like, now at least I have like, because I think the OTT has opened up a big market for people like with content. So I think there's a huge opportunity out there for everyone and which is very healthy. So yeah, I mean like I think not overwhelming is not the word, but then I think everyone can try. Like I said, everyone can try, everyone can put up. YouTube itself has become a platform for upcoming, talents. So you put it out there and a lot of talents, even today, I think Love Today, the director who did a short film, has got made into a film. So I think it's in a very healthy state right now. And I think it can be overwhelming for the audience.
Yeah,
because there's just too much content coming out at you. You don't have time to see all of that, and then there's too much of pressure to see this and that. And,
so much to catch
yeah,
up.
to open Twitter or Facebook or Insta, I'm like, okay, what happened? One day if we don't see it, tomorrow they're asking me, did you see this trailer? Did you see this song? Did you see this? I'm like, when did all this happen in one day?
In a line or two, teach the younger generation to have a very clear goal for themselves.
I would say, see that there is this thing, I think it's this, by this person called Marcus Aurelius. He was a Stoic philosopher. So what he said is, the years that you live doesn't matter. The moments matters. Like if you're living for 20 years, or you're living for 60 years, or if you take a fly or a butterfly which only lives for 14 days, that 14 days, the moments that it lived is equal to the moments that we are living right now. So I think this is what we need to understand, and then we will not live in measurements. We will not live, today I'm going to live a healthy life, I'm going to live till 60. There is no point living till 60 if you really didn't cherish the moment right now. So even now when I see people saying, I have this work and I have to do that and I have so many things to do, I said, by planning so much ahead in the future, you're missing out living this moment. Then there's no point. So this is one thing I think I follow, and I tell a lot of people to realize this about themselves. And a lot of times I think, like you said, even mental health right now with social media and everyone is just, like she said, when somebody is trying to harass you or show this hatred towards you, I empathize with that person. I'm like, Pavo, what is he or she going through life that she is having so much of hatred? Because mostly when you're having hatred towards somebody else, it kind of gets at you more than the other person. If you're actually, it festers inside you. So the person who shows so much hate is actually on the receiving end. Imagine his mind, imagine that he's like, saying so many angry things at you, and I'm sure he needs help. So I think that's how I think it helps when you said in social media, how do I manage? You just feel sorry for that person and just hope he's actually going to get better in life. And so coming to mental health, I think what we all fail to understand, I think now mental health has become a topic, and maybe not so much before. Even when I was studying in college, we didn't talk about this. So I think it has, to a large extent, it has to do with social media and us trying to find this validation from other people. And when somebody else is doing well and you're also trying but you're not succeeding, so there's so much going on within us. I think a lot of times we don't understand this, but our physical health is also integrated with our mental health. So when somebody comes and says, I have this problem going on, I tell them, go join the gym. I tell them, go do yoga. I tell them, go running or go play shuttle or do something. Because when you're going to keep yourself active physically, you're going to be able to, your hormones will be able to fight all these things that are going on outside. Your happy hormones will be out, and you can love others. You can love others who actually hate you. So there is a lot of disconnect between self. So we are not so much, we don't look within. So when you ask that question, we are all like trying to look within, and that doesn't happen very often. So I think that is something that we all practice every day. Like, like you say, you always see the glass half full, not half empty. You don't look at things that you didn't have in life, but you look at things that you have, and just be like, wow, this is like great. Today, whatever is going on in my life is great. And even the failures matter. It's only with failures, like for instance, when my second film, Kali, didn't do well. It's a failure that I'm very grateful for today because I learned from my mistakes and I'm able to rectify them, and that's a challenge, and that is living, and that is something to look forward to. If I had not seen that, I wouldn't have maybe done a paper rocket. So failures are equally important to success. So if you start seeing these things come together, you don't have to be upset over failures, but you just take home whatever happened during that and try to implement in the next work of whatever you're doing in life. So I think there are just very small things that you can actually just sit and think and just spend the time with yourself and say, okay, things are going good, I think everything will be great. Thanks.